Alright, what's good, guys? Good morning. Ellie here right now. 3:59 a.m. So up at 4. Definitely trying to keep this as the new strategy. This week I've been waiting for Fundadex to activate my accounts. They activated one on Monday or Tuesday and I was really annoyed. So I was like, yo, what is going on? Why is it taking 3 days? Then the other two accounts I've sent probably, excuse me, I think I looked at the thread, it was like 23 emails with support to get my other two accounts activated. And it was just the same generic, we're so sorry. And I was like, I don't mind about your apology, just get my accounts in the most respectful way. So yeah, I was a little bit annoyed this week. I was tilted on the one account, blew it in like a day. Actually, no, 2 days. Was up like $700 as well on the day that I blew it and was just cooked. So yeah, should have filmed, should have uploaded. Glad to say on Friday, end of the week, we get it back into the normal process of things. So yeah, just want to start every episode like this, going through the daily proverbs. I'm gonna read it and speed up this bit so you don't have to head through it all, and then come back and give the verse of the day. Then we'll do our charting from that point on, chart up what we're looking for, and begin to the execution phase. Really trying not to rush that process for now. So I'm gonna get into my reading, done my praying this morning, done my 5 minutes meditation, to do the reading, share the verse, and then let's get into some charts. Cool. So for today, my verse is actually verse 11 and 12. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father the son he delights in. And I think that just helps, especially with losing days. That's the thing that I'm really struggling with at the moment, is handling losses well. And just recognizing that every time I lose, I actually do go back and refine my process. But I notice on the days that I win, especially if I'm on like a streak, that's when all things go to the wind. I don't care. I'm like, I don't have mastered this thing. I don't need to do any of the process again. So recognizing the pain of a losing day is actually a good thing to discipline the strategy. And sometimes that's just trading, right? Like you could do everything perfect and you still lose. I'm in a weird phase of my life too where things just aren't going as well compared to previously. And recognizing that's still all part of God's plan as well. So let's have a look at our charts. What has been working well for me is starting from the hourly. To do all these markups once I have these levels to that. So we have our previous day value area high resting right here. We have our previous day point of control still really high here as well. Get rid of these yellow lines that don't serve any purpose. You got a daily busy resting in here. Nice with the previous week stuff because I just don't have to stress about it. We're definitely above everything from the previous week. You can see all of these lines, all the hecticness that's going on. So yeah, longs ideally would be the play, but let's wait and see. And looking for previous day value area low, it looks like we're pushing up at least a 1 minute here. High time frame confluence here. We are in a massive uptrend as well, so probably look for longs here. Just the fact that we've respected the bottom of this, put our stop below here. I need to know how much I'm standing to lose and gain, right? It makes no sense to just go in blind. So let me log into my accounts here. Alright, cool. We've got everything set up now. Our account is linked to TradingView here. So we are starting to push, which is good to see. Stop loss here. Definitely not doing 10 units. 3 is about 160. It's not too bad, to be honest. So we'll take ourselves out around about here. Right, so 3 stop loss right there. TP resting about here. And we'll look to add this to position if we can. We got our accounts linked together here. Just try to see if we can get a pullback. Resting just above this BISI right here. Could potentially push down to here as well. About stop loss resting right here. We'll look to take 2 off at 25161. So it'll be full. And then we'll leave runners doing a little bit higher. Okay, just gonna be mindful of this CB resting in here, but based on the volume nodes, I think we should be okay. Pushing down, there we go, tucked in for 3 positions here. Okay, so decent start. We're already straight into profit, which is good to see. And this is just what I need to work on, is that I think in the past I've just been so used to trading with heavy size Top step obviously giving you a little bit more drawdown, 2k and whatnot, but yeah, I just need to recognize it's slow and steady. I'm so used to seeing like big numbers here that seeing small numbers like this can be a little bit discouraging to be like, oh, I was earning way more than this, and all of these bills are grid, so I just need to be grateful. I'm contemplating as well, maybe just going for 500 per account, especially at the start, right? Because we don't need like a crazy amount to hit these payouts, and then just do 250 for daily loss, just to preserve the longevity of these accounts. But I don't know, we'll see how we go. I'm just trying to think, because my win rate sits probably just under 50%, if I'm being honest. If I'm trading properly, my win rate's about 50%. But if I'm changing risk sizes and whatnot, it's probably below 40. So I'm just trying to think the best way to do this. I've got one payout doing this method before. Maybe we just go 500, to be honest. And let's try this at 250. So 1 to 2 risk to reward. We could go 1 to 1, to be honest. I actually like the 350 loss limit. I'm not too sure here. We'll go 1 250 and then 1 350. Nice that we got 2 accounts to work with here. So 500 daily loss limit. We'll go 250, 350 for this one. So this is our aggressive account. The 5-5 is slightly aggressive. Let's finish some drawdown. It's fine. Approaching this EMA as well. Wouldn't mind this as another entry, to be honest, because right at the end of the volume node resting in here, bounce back up to here with the EMA resting here as well. So it'll be interesting to see where is that level. 25093. So 25093. We'll go just slightly above. Add another 3 positions in here. Let's let the trade play out. Okay, we're running a bit of an experiment here just to see whether at 350 and 875 is the sweet spot, or whether just going from 1 to 2 with 250, 500. So this is a 1 to 2 risk reward. This is a 1 to 2.5. We'll see which one works better longevity wise and things like that. Pushing up here, which is good to see. Basically, what I'm looking at now, I want to pyramid into this entry. We are looking to be correct. But my new strategy for pyramiding is I want us to take previous highs, close above them, leave a fair value gap, and then we'll put a limit order for pyramiding into entry. That's where that will run it. Just going to adjust stops as we're making new highs. I just want to adjust stops to lower lows as well. So the amount that we're putting on the table is significantly reduced. As we can see here, I'm going to get rid of this limit order. I have to do it in trade weight, just so it feeds to the other account. Going to get rid of the limit order just because we've wicked. We haven't closed above the previous high. That can induce sellers to then push this, and it's going to start reversing on us. Don't want to add more positions here if we're going to be pushing to the downside. But for now, it's looking really good. We don't have any other high volume nodes to be targeting as we make our way up. We're approaching this city now. We've had some pretty steep momentum to the downside, so I don't know whether we're going to reject off here or whether we're just going to keep on pushing higher. We're obviously at all-time highs. Let's wait and see. Okay, so there's the closure. We're just going to see on the 3-minute where we place to put entry. Wait. Just be patient. There's no rush really. Already, like psychology-wise, I'm feeling that the 500 target probably makes more sense. Even sitting at $50 in profit here, we're 10% of the way there already. Just from a peace of mind standpoint, that feels a bit better, but again, we're not into trading to let our emotions dictate what we do. Just go test it and see what the data shows us. Implied now, and we have created this while closing our previous highs. The thing I'm a little skeptical about is this. There you go. If we get closure above, I think that's going to give final confirmation that we could be running all the way up to here. So just wait and see. Looking for a bit of a push. As long as we don't see a bunch of sellers coming in, I think we should be okay for high pricing. As long as we don't see that volume shifting to the downside, I think we're okay. Nice. Haven't really seen that volume shift. Still want to take this higher. So for now, I think we're okay to pyramid. Just gotta find the entry point now. Pretty much all of this is filled apart from here. So do we have a tiny little gap in 3 here, which would coincide to about here. It's the start of the volume, so to be honest, I actually like this as an extra entry. So there's 5 minutes spot in here. Let's try to see point of control resting right here. Can't see the value area. Let me add these in. Okay. Yep, so we did get that spill down. This is the 5 minute civvy we're tapping into now. Right, it's ready. Can't see the resting right here. Above everything, we should still be looking for longs here. Nice little pullback right here. Could probably just go market over, to be honest. But so we're going in, heading into our position. This was pretty much our entry that we were going to look for. So we're going to add in, we've got 6 micros on now. Make this 6. Can't access it. Okay, there we go. Okay, entries right here. Stop loss. Have at the bottom of this order block. Ideally should be here at this low. TP staying right about here. And if we make new heights, that's pretty much gonna be it. Okay. We didn't really take this low, but that's okay. If we can start pushing from here, we should be all sweet. So we actually got tapped right on the spot. Put another micro underneath all of these wicks in between this fair value gap. It's also the same fair value gap on a 5 minute as well. So we bounced really nicely off that. Looking for our push to the upside now. So I'm going to adjust this again, make this 5. I think it will be valid to take ourselves out from here, but we'll see if we want to push higher from here. Here's our position right now with the 7. Let me just adjust this. It's going to be 14. So we'll stop. Decent reaction here. So we have 10 right around here. Sell 1 extra at the highs right here. We're just looking for a peak, but at that point we should be blasting higher. But yeah, we need to take ourselves out of the position. We only really realize the gains once we're out. I really need to keep remembering that. As Warren Buffett says, you only make money on a trade when you actually realize it. So even if this wants to fall to the moon, let's just realize. I think the conservative account, we should hit the 500 target if we want to get up there. With the 875, we'll just see how we go. But again, like that's best case scenario. I got to stop having this one or nothing mentality where if it's not 875, then it's a failure. Even if it's a 400, we only make half of what we need or the target for the day. That's still huge, and I still need to be grateful for that. So yeah, getting some nice pushes here to flip back to a 2. I love the M2. I don't know why I'm loving this time frame. It's like the perfect medium for a scalper of still not being faked out, but still having enough stimuli that you can make decisions on the fly. But yeah, just trying to look at the volume we're seeing here. Most volume so far has been around this candle. We did react to the downside a little bit. This is our trade right now, pushing, making new highs, which is really good to see. Just looking for a closure for that confirmation. But ideally, if we can start just running from here, ideally what we'd like to see. Sitting at about just under 50% TP for the conservative account. We're getting some nice pushes and nice run up in here. We have made new highs as well, so I probably should adjust stops to this level. I just don't want to choke the trade. We've got our node of volume sitting in here. So maybe just halfway through this order block would be appropriate. Maybe at this low here, so 25086 is where we're going to be looking at. Still looks like we want to push higher from here. Can't really see much resistance at this point. Maybe the civvy in here, but ideally we want to go for the civvy all the way resting up in here. So see what happens if buyers have enough strength to push this higher. But for now, yeah, sitting halfway through the target for the conservative account. Yeah, good result so far. We're going to start preparing myself for the day ahead. I just switched it on a lower time frame to see where we're at. Based on what we're seeing now, I wouldn't want price to be coming back below here. This is our last volume node. Value area high, still resting at the bottom of this node. We could definitely push back down, to be honest. These areas to get in for a long would be much more preferred, but we just don't have the time. The market's going to close in about an hour and a half or so. We'll see if we have the momentum to keep going high. I'm okay with taking a loss. What is that gonna be? Maybe about $60, $70, I'd say. Might be a little bit more with fees and whatnot. But I'd rather take a $80 loss than have this want to fall all the way down to essentially here. I just don't like the stagnation that we're seeing at this point right now. Doesn't really make much sense for us to be going much lower here, maybe on a high time frame. Yeah, my stop loss is going to be here for the time being. Ideally, it should be here if I didn't have as much risk on, but we're going to see if we can push to the upside. I'm going to go handle some stuff, get some brekkie sorted, and I'll come back in probably about half an hour or so. Okay, been about 30 minutes here, and we are still pushing to the upside, which is good to see. It is currently 3:34 p.m. So pushing that 4 o'clock macro. Hopefully we can get that last little push in this last hour here. Just check the higher time frames. 30 is looking pretty positive. Hourly as well. I do have an hourly CB in here, but ideally we would be looking to push past this. Looking good for the time being. I don't really want us to take this low on the hourly. Wouldn't want that flipped again. So ideally, what's that? 108 for our stop loss here. 108. At least that way we walk away with something. I'm just making sure there's no obvious fair value gaps around that level. Price can come back for pushing back just a little bit now. Yeah, it's looking pretty clean. We do have this FVG in here, but then we would be breaking new lows as well. It looks pretty safe to move to 108 here. So yeah, give me the stops, just preserve the trade if this does want to cool down on us here. I don't like the fact that we do have a gap sitting literally right in here, but it is what it is. I actually don't like this at all. It's a tricky one. I think purely just for the reason on the one, we could floral this, bounce in here and then keep going. I like the stop where it was before at the 25096 level. Coming down pretty steep here as well. Might go here for just a break even trade, to be honest. Be a little bit frustrating considering how long we've waited for this, but it's all part of the game. Let me just see if there's been any news. There's potential bailout, which again is going to put the US economy in some debt. So there's that push down that we were just talking about. We literally went all the way down there. That's crazy. So there was a spot we would have been taken out here. What a move. He says nuts. Yeah, we might get a break even trade right here, guys. Yeah, super frustrating. Wow. Here's what it is. We're down $5. Oh my goodness. Just came out of nowhere, huh? I wonder if I kept the stops originally where they were, whether it would be still in their position here. That's super frustrating. What is it on the 30? There's nothing that I can see. We're actually genuinely going for, and look at this reaction right here. Oh, that's very frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Interesting. We are seeing a fair bit of volume, to be fair, but in a hard time frame for confirmation. Yeah, there's not too much we can do, to be honest. I think we just leave it, call it for today, take our $5 loss. But risk management, eh? So much better than me risking way more and copping a big loss. I'm just trying to look at the positives in every situation. We're up 300. It is what it is. This is why I like risking heavier size, to be fair, because you don't need to be as correct. That's just wait and see. There's another entry potentially. My next spot would be looking at this node of volume, especially coupled with the value area high of the day. Seeing if we get a bounce from there, or potential point of control resting down in here. But yeah, don't need to force anything at all for now. Just leave things as is. Looking at a higher time frame. So I think it might be this bailout which is causing this reaction to the downside here. We have inverted a lot, and it does look like we are pushing lower and lower here. So I'm actually potentially interested in a short with taking majority off at these volume nodes. But essentially we had this massive push to the downside. We've been slowly trending up. We've broken this low, closed below it now. Had a bit of a market structure shift with volume to back it up as well. I just don't want to fight the upward trend. I've been losing every single time I've been calling shorts for the past week or so based on this reaction here, based on the volume and stepping into the downside, the recent news. You're looking for a short, maybe if we can get back above these highs. Almost end of the day, we're looking for only a really small move to the downside here. And yeah, that's my reasoning. I don't want the same result as last time. Sitting in that trade for all that time and then nothing to show for it. Let me just double check rather than just putting a random amount. What we would be looking to risk. So yeah, like 150, looking to make hit point of control, so 550 in here. Yeah, that makes sense. If we push back again, we'll look to just add into the position. I'm actually not hating this, to be honest. There we go. Okay, we tapped into the short. See how price wants to react here. The reason I want to add a fair bit of size is because I want to start partialing pretty early at these volume nodes where I want to start looking to take majority of the position up. Let's get to about 430 here. Nice reaction once again. Bit of indecision. Better looking at TradeAway. It just updates a lot more faster in real time than TradingView. Just see if we invert this here. Nice. Looking good so far for this short. Main reason being we just had a lot of volume. We've obviously had a market structure shift here now. We've been trending pretty steadily up as well compared to the massive deletion that we saw here. Let's see, we didn't get the closure that we wanted. Respected this to the upside now. Just be patient, sit with it, see what happens. Okay, still looks like there's a desire to go lower here. I just would like a closure below this low here now before looking to add in more to this position. End of the day, just had some unfavorable news for what the US dollar is going to be looking like it's doing. Run up. Okay, ES tapped up into this CB right here. But again, all-time highs, so should be making more and more highs. Just went into action here. Closures below these lows is what I'd be looking for to add into the position. Where do we say our stop loss is going to be? 25126. And let's just add these highs. Ideally, I want to see a bit of a push up and then sharp move away after we tap in here. If we see some decent volume, we'll just jump in on a market order here. Pushing to the downside, we'll just have to wait and see. Be patient. By 6:30, which is 4:30 New York time, I want to be off the charts. That'll be it. What is that? 2.5 hours of trading, which ideally shouldn't be that much. I think we'll look to scale in a bit faster if trades are moving. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So now let me wait. Why? Because I've got these orders. I don't know if I've cooked this here. I might have just cooked this for us, but let's wait and see. It's exactly what we're looking for though. Tap up in here and then just big volume to the downside. Let's wait and see. But these things happen though, that's calm. Alright, so we're going to put our stop at this high now. Definitely don't want to see that. Looking like we got filled pretty randomly here. So let's see if we get this push down. We'll be looking to take off at this area right here, just below the midpoint of this node. 5086. That really cooked the entry. That's just so annoying, but that's okay. At this node, we'll look to take off 6 at the point of control. So just before the start of this 25066. We'll look to take another 3. And then if we want to go all the way down to previous day value area, okay, looking for support on this level, 25036. At the very start of the node, I think that's 25036. Trying to see where we are. 250.7. We'll take off 4. Alright, let's see how we go. If we have enough juice to get out these lows. I'm just going to monitor on trading and hide the profit. Let's monitor this for a little bit. Oh, okay. Pushing to the downside pretty heavy, you know. Just going to address to the lower time frames now, just because we do have a fair bit of size on. I'm not too sure what this news is. Total money market funds rose. I don't know if that's like a dead thing, which is why the market's having a bit of reaction. Yes. Always get that impulse to put my stops a little bit higher. I think that's just that hope mindset that maybe it could be coming back. At the end of the day, a break-even trade is a break-even. We're probably still, if it does come back on us. Ideally, stops should be around here, but this could flip bullish at any moment. We've just tapped the as well. Okay, let's see here. There's the tap. We're still making new lows. I don't know if I checked the trade a little bit too, but we have just tapped a high volume node in here now. So I think it will be dependent on where this hourly closes. If we close above in this next minute, then we're okay. But if we start pushing lower, let me take. This is what I should have done after each position. Close and cancel. That really cooked us right there. Because if this was to keep on going lower, our entry probably would have been in around here. Our stop loss right here. And if this was to fall back to the downside, and this is just why the importance of getting your entries is so important. Feel grateful. The fact after all of that, we're only down $12. It could be so much worse. So just need to remain positive, remain grateful. Looks like we are going to push up here as well. Bouncing off that node. Let's jump it. Let's do it. Go straight in for it here. So stop here. I think we're going to have a better entry than when we started, because I guess I just need to work at actually taking profits at better levels. I think probably taking it if you're running against the trend at higher levels of these nodes. But let's just wait and see. I'm liking that this was the most volume and it's a rejection bar. Yeah, this is looking good. Just tape trading, man. Alright, nice reaction here. Looking at, I probably should have checked what the hourly closure was here. Yeah, nice. So bounce back up. The longs looking back on for the time being here. Just good to see. Raise this up. Stop loss at the area here. It's gonna be more than what we can afford actually. So just gotta be a bit careful. I have to adjust our stops pretty tightly here. But getting some good reactions at this hourly open. So I think every time I've choked the trade or been working, it's actually saved me because we pushed past that level. Yeah, I guess this is something I need to work on my psychology. Get rid of that hope mentality. Let it stop you out if it wants to bounce and get back in. But preserve your capital. That's the main thing. So with that in mind, we can put our stops pretty much at break even. We've got a lot that we're risking now. I don't mind this strategy of starting with a little bit of lighter size. See what the market wants to do, and then once you have a bit more confidence in what has happened. But yeah, for now this is looking pretty decent. It's just gotta not get too ahead of ourselves. Still gotta focus on the process here. Seeing if there's any fair value gaps. Not really. Nice reaction off this node as well. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this position. We just see the smaller time frames. There is a volume imbalance right here in chat I'm not a big fan of. We'll just put our stop. It will be, what's that, 7 times 2, 140. So we'll be down about 150 on the day. This wants to reverse on us, but I think based on the reaction, hourly closure, we should be okay. So let me go back to our spot where we had this to take off our 7 micros. Right here, 251, 157. Might go 155 to be honest. Let's see where that is. I like that a lot. Well, just what we noticed as well, just trying to take partials, and as early as you can take them, the better, to be honest. Securing that profit is more important than potentially letting it run for more. So I'm liking this. Let me go sort that brekkie, and I'll be back around 6:30. Okay. So we've come back and looks like being closed out for the day. I think Fund Next must close positions for their traders a little bit early, but hey, 196 per account for the day, so really can't complain with that at all. Super blessed, super privileged after everything that's happened today. Hope let's back into some breakfast and let's get it. Thanks for watching. God bless.